So I'm here at a lounge in the middle of Hollywood, about ready to go and do a reading, and I don't really have much coming through for the client. I'm just kind of overwhelmed with all of this. Hello,
hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Oh my gosh, great to meet you.
I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I'm Stassi.
I'm Kristen Doute.
And I'm Stassi Schroeder. And Tyler might recognize us from a little show on Bravo called Vanderpump Rules. She used to be like really crazy, but she's totally calmed down. I mean, she still has like her moments like when she's drunk at 4 in the morning, but.
And feisty and a little erratic.
Well, yeah.
In a positive way.
Most of the time. I feel like people do spells here.
I love it. I know.
You know
Looks
what I
like
mean?
we're gonna whip out the Ouija board now.
We heard about Tyler because we're obsessed with E and watched the show.
Yeah, I've been watching Tyler since like episode 1. We just want like the buffet. We want to know everything. Little bits of everything.
Are you both interested in medium readings, or?
Yes.
Do you know of the situation where a woman goes like years and years without the male counterpart? It looks like man dies, and then we go through about a decade or
I'm
so
gonna
after.
throw up. Oh my God.
And then she lives after this, after that. So does that make sense for you?
Yes.
I never know how a client's going to respond or validate, and sometimes I get really interesting reactions. Whether it's Snooki screaming, "Stop!" or those two telling me that they're gonna throw up on me, I view it as a good sign.
That was like your grandfather. Who is that?
Yes, my grandmama.
Awesome.
My mom's mom, yeah. Grandmother Patty. And Daryl, my mom's dad. And he passed away before she did. But like when he did, she was just like a complete different person.
She's really connected to your mother. And this is interesting in the way this comes through because I don't think that she ever really knew how to process her own emotions. And there's an apology for this because they ultimately either got misdirected or not expressed at all.
Yeah.
The reality is she knows from her perspective that certain things weren't warranted. She doesn't feel she was fair with your mom. And she's apologetic to your mom and saying, I'm sorry I wasn't fair, but I could have never seen that in life. The feelings like could have never acknowledged it. Your grandmother, though she's lovely, comes across and there's a feeling of almost like, I'm the victim. I'm the one being victimized. This is being done to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense.
Awesome.
Absolute sense,
Great.
yes. It is so crazy that Tyler was able to get all of the relationships and dynamics in my family correct. He is not making this up, like,
Yeah.
he is dead on.
Thank you. Let me figure out what this is. Thank you. Okay. This is a message I want to kind of deliver, and it's something they do frequently say, but it comes through extra in this case. She does not want her death to be how we remember her when it comes to like her life. And just recently there was a conversation that was had. People were basically like, look, let's focus on her life. And I need to emphasize this because she's coming through a lot. She's having me talk about her passing and the circumstances that she went. She doesn't feel like when she went, she had full closure with the people around her. It's almost like I want there to be a release of any anger, any frustration, any resentment, any family tension, any family conflict. She wasn't able to have closure or really convey her feelings to the full extent. And the feeling is basically, I die without being able to have a resolve.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The most amount of sense. I mean, do you want me to, I
Sure.
don't know whether.
At this point you can, yeah.
No, we don't know how she died. My grandmother Patty, my mom, they had been like estranged for a little while. They had they were super close, but super up and down.
Right.
And my mom got a weird feeling at a party and made my dad take her home and just like felt uneasy for a while. And then she had made my dad go over to her house a couple days later to check on her, and she was dead. And so she had been there for a few days, and no one knows if she committed suicide or if she accidentally killed herself because she was on medication for things. And so she would take a pill, go to sleep, and then maybe she woke up, forgot she took it.
Right.
Or did she, like, we don't know, and that's like haunted my mom, and like we talk about it like all the time.
Sure. Let me see what we got. Ooh. Okay. There are no real feelings of, I killed myself here. There's no real feelings of, I committed suicide. People have said that they would have left a note, and the feeling that comes through from her end is basically like, I don't feel like I'm in the mindset when this happens to kill myself. That's not my my mindset. That's not what I'm intending to do. She, from her end, has released this. She wants you to know she didn't kill herself.
Okay. That's super intense.
It's a lot, I'm sure. Yeah.
The fact that you've just been telling me that it was not her choice, it was not suicide. My mom's had to live with that for the last 23 years. Like that, I could not imagine like how that weighs on somebody's head.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I can tell her that, it's really cool.
So glad.
It's like a freaking 48 hours episode. Like to like have like a death be solved, that's like a big deal. Like it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
It's not just someone coming in being like, I'm very proud of you. Like, no, like the death was not my choice. It was not my fault. I didn't want for that to happen. Like that's insane. Since she's died, all of the focus has been on her death, and now we can talk about her in a more uplifting way. That it's priceless. It's life-changing.
Thank you, guys.
No,
Thank you.
Like, you don't realize like the peace you're gonna give to like my mom.
Oh my God, I know.
Like that's gonna change her life.
Oh, I hope so.
My mom and my grandmother both took each other for granted. I never want to pass on or have my mom pass on and have those unanswered questions or regret how I was with her. And like I'm very thankful for Tyler for that. This has been really cool.
I'm so glad.
Now let's go get a glass of wine.
Mind blown.
I know. I feel like I can't
Mind
put
blown.
like I can't string sentences together right now. That was so intense.